All right, we're on to number 13, resignation of the clerk. Going to read Kayla Schlander's resignation to all board members and Whalen Township residents. Effective immediately, I'm resigning from my position as clerk of Whalen, County of Bay, Michigan. I also immediately resign from my position on Planning Commission. This decision comes after ongoing and unacceptable conditions within the workplace that have made it impossible for me to continue. The lack of professionalism, respect, and support from board members has created an environment that I can no longer tolerate or be a part of. I will go as far to say that I believe I am been subjugated to sabotage after I was appointed to the Planning Commission. The only reason I lasted as long was because of the support I received from the supervisor, my deputy, and front desk. I will not remain for any transition or handover period. My employment with the municipality ends as the delivery of this letter. Serving the residents of Whalen has been a privilege, but internal work environment has left me with no other choice but to step away immediately. I ask the board to accept my resignation on this day of December 8th, 2025. Sincerely, Kayla Schlander. So,
I make a motion to accept the resignation without actually accepting the wording of the letter. Nice job on it, though. Anybody else second that?
Second motion, accepting the resignation.
Okay. Yes. Okay, I've got questions. Just a moment. We're gonna go
and so, talking with Katie Zanotti last week, I had told her I had a feeling something was happening. I had a feeling something was happening, so I told her I haven't received a resignation, but she hasn't shown up for work for days. So she says she's at home, don't feel good. So I went there and asked her, protocols. I said, we have an election coming up. I don't want the township to be, in a bad predicament. What do we do here? So there's a lot of different issues, including payroll and other things that are happening within the township now. But she did make a statement that concerned me, and that was that Charlie was in a few months ago and asked what happens if the clerk resigns. Well, it ends up being at about the same time when she says a few months that she was put on the Planning Commission. Now, did she get put on the Planning Commission? She asked to be. She was wanting to be elected again. She wanted experience. So to me, this is heartbreaking, because I'm going to tell you what, if there was anything wrong with Kayla Schlander, she had too big of a heart.
All right, so let me just jump in, because I had a conversation with Kayla when you decided to appoint her to the Planning Commission, and I talked to her and I said, Kayla, this really is not a good idea. You need to learn your job before you try to learn zoning. Before you try to learn all this other part, you need to learn your job first. I understand you want to branch out, but you need to get good at what you do first. And so I checked, because, word was going around, apparently, that she was going to resign tonight before we were notified. Kind of interesting. So I actually checked to see how much she had actually been doing in the system. And I just found it to be kind of interesting. So the clerk's office is responsible for accounts payable, responsible for payroll, and has some things to do in the general ledger. Those are 3 different applications that we have. My part in those, well, a little bit more in general ledger, but my part in those has to do with reconciling. Reconciling each month, I have to clear out everything that comes out of the payroll check, every AP check, so on and so forth, and do some general ledger postings, journal postings. So I actually looked, 4/15, I believe, is when she was actually appointed in, and she had Greg in there, and we were told that with all the years of experience that Greg had, that he would be great at training her and getting everything just working fantastically. So in the time from 4/15 to 12/3, there were a total of 527 records created in the general ledger system. I actually went down and saw how many were hers. Out of 527, 34 were hers. That is just over 6% of the work that was happening in the general ledger. Payroll from 4/15 to 12/1/25, there was 1,528 records during that time. Of those, she was responsible for 37 out of 1,528. Just over 2% of the activity happening in payroll. In accounts payable, 4/15/25 to 12/8/25, there was 1,895 records created. Of those, Kayla's name was on 73 of them, which is almost 4% of the work that was completed in 8 months. So, had she actually been taking the time to do her job and to learn her job, she probably wouldn't have been so stressed out. Instead of having Greg do it and then not being able to fix the errors that were made, which were brought up many, many times, dating all the way back to when she started, that still haven't been fixed.
So, Ms. DeShano, with you stating that, it brings something up. Your niece who worked for the township and was your deputy treasurer, you told me how you just stack them up and let her do them at night. What do you think the percentage would be if you were to look in the mirror?
Well, you know, I'll tell you, I take payments all day. I also do
No.
all the reconciliations. I always have, thank you. I do all the reconciliations.
Slow down.
You
Can
don't
get
even
him
know
the
what
numbers?
happens in my office. You're too busy doing all your scheming and yours.
Here's the thing is I never
You
had
guys
a,
work for our township. We need to have some decorum here. It's getting way out of hand with every one of these frickin' meetings, and it's gotta stop.
And regarding Kayla, it's kind of null and void to bring up whatever percentage is not because she's done.
No,
It
I
doesn't
would-
make sense for you guys to bicker back and forth about it.
is it null and void
That's
to bring up
relevant.
the emotional attachment and how it didn't work out because it was so sad too?
Hey, that's it, I got nothing.
Well, you gotta have both sides of the equation.
Yeah, but
Take your,
Well, and you look at Greg and Sherry, how much work did Greg do when he was the treasurer, or the clerk for how long? And he was doing Sherry, and how much Molly, I know it.
Mine
Molly
goes
was
back
doing
to
all,
Roy, and everybody was, this didn't happen though. We didn't have input to your conversations. So I'm just gonna say that. I wish we get back to that. And that starts here, that you rise above each other's silliness, right? And you are professional. But I haven't opened my mouth because that was null and void. You didn't get to
So-
do that. That's professional.
So, we accepted the clerk's resignation.
yes,
But I want to make a comment. When I went over to our county clerk's office, I went there because the comment was made, special assessment, millage. $15,000 for a special election. Hampton Township paid $10,000 when they had an election, and Katie said, you can have it done for $5,000 at most, because you only have one precinct. They had 3. So we spend $5,000, get them all, get this put together, get the millage. We wouldn't have a conversation about all this money, the lawyers. People could have voted, but the fear was it might not get well received.
But Charlie,
That's where the conversations started with Mrs. Zanati, Mr. Eddie, just to make a little clarity since
Oh,
I was
there's
present.
clarity there.
we accepted her resignation. Can I make a motion for payroll, and I could be wrong, for legal, that we put, and we gotta look into it, but you and her on check signing, if we can legally do it? Well, I did, Googled it and ChatGPT'd it and Gronked it, and they all did come to in a special assessment for a short
Special
term.
situation.
It's a temporary for a short term of something like this, it states, that we can, but I just want to ask our legal, so I'd like to make a motion to ask our legal if we can put you and Lori
Yes.
on payroll till we get a clerk.
I think we have more than that because we have stacks of FOIAs that are crazy, and I'm not going to be a FOIA man.
No, we're gonna have to appoint or hire someone, but right now I'm more
There's a
worried about,
FOIA.
it's Christmas, would you
I
be opposed
understand.
to us trying to call the lawyer and see if we can put you guys as a temporary, just to get through payroll?
Fine with anything that will help this township move forward.
Can we post it on our website? Will you post it on your website that we're accepting clerk applications via email? And we put it out there, we'll have, one of us have to
If
type
the
something.
township will do it, I'll take it from there and put it on mine, unless you want me to do the work.
No,
I'm not getting
but
paid to
will
do
you
this.
share it, please?
Not like the township,
Yeah.
who's running the township Facebook page?
An administrator, the administrators and Jocelyn Chandler
Okay.
is she gets told to put the stuff on. Was also my wife.
There
And
you
the
go.
board is their administrators. Who's your administrator? No wonder sometimes. Okay, back to that.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Post on the websites for clerk, for applications, and there's some roles we gotta look into. What else would there be?
And then, did you need to actually make a motion about checking with legal about the other part?
Oh, make a motion to check with legal about Brad, Supervisor Eddie, and Treasurer DeShano being able to do payroll. Temporarily, until we get a new clerk. Or, yeah, until we get a new clerk. Posting, yeah, so that motion, that's why.
Motion to check with attorney about.
And I think that needs to be done
Probably tomorrow.
correctly.
Yeah, we actually have several different things.
I don't understand why that's a problem.
Two people have to sign the check. And
I
it's-
understand that.
Oh, legal?
Most churches,
No, it's
you're
different because
talking
we're
about
government.
House of God.
Yeah. It's
Okay, the
different.
staff gets paid. There's at least 2 deacons' names on those paychecks.
It's different in a township because
Why?
Because we're elected officials.
law.
It's the law.
We have only
Different.
two fiduciaries.
Well, I'm sorry to
one's
say, but
employee.
there's somebody that's above you, that's law, and his word stands firm, and he's in control.
Amen.
So we need to just settle down and do the right thing here, people, for crying out loud.
This is my first time here.
Mine too.
In a long time. I used to have property on various years ago. But, how do I say this in a nice way, okay? It seems like thicker, 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 and thicker. How can, and you're running our township, and that's all I've heard all night is this bickering back and forth. God don't work that way. If you had prayer in the beginning, you opened with prayer.
I know that.
Did it mean anything?
Point of order.
Yeah, we
Did
got
it? Okay, you have to do that then? You have to open with prayer?
No.
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 Oh, you
was-
have
well,
point
no,
of order.
I'll have-
And you'll have a chance for
We'll have a
public comment
chance in a
too.
minute.
Just take 1 minute.
Public Act 222.
Wait a minute,
Wait, we're not
the
done.
roll call wasn't done for the
Yeah.
money.
So then there's two different motions here. So you made the motion to check with the attorney about temporary signature rights to
Yeah.
sign checks.
Yes, and Charles seconded it
Oh, he did, okay.
for you and Brad.
Roll
We gotta vote on
call.
that.
Whalen,
Yes.
DeShano,
Yes.
Campbell, yes. Eddie, yes.
And then a motion to post the listings online. Get it one drawn up.
Did you have a cutoff for it? You just wanted to-
By next Monday at 12 o'clock, then maybe we could do a special meeting next week.
Okay.
Maybe if you wouldn't mind. So next Monday by 11:59 p.m.
I would say, or sooner.
Or sooner. And then if we get some, we can have a meeting maybe on Wednesday.
Okay.
Suggested time for a meeting.
6:30.
Well, hold on.
We
Let's
gotta
get
get
this motion out of the way first. So your motion
We
is
can do
complete?
18 hours.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
just tell me what's good.
All right. Did you second that, or I'll second it? You did,
I
okay.
second to the legal,
You
so
did,
we can
okay.
get a phone call
All
out,
right,
so
I'll
we can get some answers.
I'll second that,
And second that posting.
yeah.
Roll call, DeShano,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Eddie, yes, Whalen.
Yes.
Public Act 222,